Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Well, if you're somewhere where it's evening, it's not somewhere where it's evening. It's good something else. Anyways, welcome to another Manga Monday. As you can maybe see from the title, we are drawing. What's her name? Milim NAVA. Let's see. You don't need to look at them. No. Oh man, I'm just so. Uh, I gotta read my own title to know who I'm drawing. You know I've got the picture. That is good. I'm drawing. Manga NAVA from the time I got regenerated as a slime. Facebook. Share out now. Yeah. See you in the morning and in the afternoon. Facebook. The X, or better known as Twitter. Publish. Lit, and of course, of the proto. We get it under chat. There we go. And I guess we should put my ugly mug up on here. Okay, so what should we do? What should we do with the drunken sailor? What should we do with the drunken sailor? So we're lying on board. Now there is a few different images. Looks, I'm not sure which one really. There's one with some wings. There's one with like a bikini. I don't know if it's that. I know which one I'm partial to. Actually, I'm sort of partial to that. Or the one with the very significant. And the bikini version. I think I am going to go with the winged one. Let's change it. we'll probably have to widen this and better wings. Either that or the wings will just off the page, but also something for the sword. Hey, you hear a lot of crackling? Is the mic was not right in front of me. Maybe it was catching the little fan that I have. Is this better? Uh, okay, so we'll worry about the wings later. Okay, so take layer away. We bring this down. There we go. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Uh, who suggested this character? Nobody. I went on. I looked up manga characters, and this is the one I decided on. I had actually three that I was choosing from. One I couldn't find pictures of, really. Tendon or shrimp something from uh Kinyuan, or I forget it. We had him actually in the manga thing. It was the Ultimate Muscle, I think, Ultimate Muscle guy. And then the other one, two of them actually were from the I read your was resurrected, reincarnated as a slime. The time I was reincarnated slime. The other one was Rinua Tempest. I hate this show. Well, crazy enough, I think the site that I ended up getting it from. I don't. Which was Anime Planet. She was actually in the top hated characters today, so that just made me laugh. So that they had a category just with that, and she looked neat out of all of them. So and then top loved. The funny thing is, a couple of them, like Naruto, is in the loved and hated. Levi Light Yagami is in both. And Kazuwashi Hatag, again, another one I think from Naruto. And L is, they're all the same thing. And I don't know where, I don't see Tempest in either of these, so I don't know how I got Tempest. But Remore late is a he. Remoryu is a he. Remoryu. Okay, I'm not even sure. Did I? Remoryu. Okay, who is? Did I say Remoryu? We have Naruto, Kashihata, Light Yagami, Kakashi, L, Levi. I didn't even say anything that was remote or however. Remoryu and uh Rimuru Tempesto is the MC of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Oh, okay. Uh, so ultimately, nobody suggested it. I just went with it. Looked something up and liked the look of what, well, like I said, about three characters. And ended up going with the one. I talked about this show before. Had nothing good to say about it. Yeah, I think, well, I remember you or Metal or somebody saying something about the show before. But like I said, nobody suggested. I saw something that I liked. Well, I don't know whether I like the show or not. I've never watched it. It's just I saw something that the image looked appealing to me. Something that I thought I might like to draw. So I went with it. Now I need to get a good picture of her sword. The show is about building a kingdom for monsters, yet doesn't characterize any member of the tribes from the kingdom. Okay. That alone should tell you the quality of storytelling. Um, yes and no. Main character doesn't even struggle. He just automatically succeeds at everything he does without trying. Okay. Well, yeah, usually that isn't the best for sure. Hey, Mike, how are you? Okay, I need to sit. Did I get an image with her? Hey, Metal, how are you? You're eating a hot dog, Metal? Is that what you're saying? Well, I know how, Fitzchozo feels. Mike, what do you think of the show, I was once reincarnated as a slime, or the time I got reincarnated as slime? And same with you, Metal. Do you like it? What do you think of it? You're cooking hot dogs. The show's on fire. Good. Okay. Okay. Do, 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 do. I have not watched the anime as of yet. It may be a while before I do. Okay, okay. Metal says I've watched a couple episodes at random because Marsupio was watching. I think it Verle Duque Donkey Dookie even Hookie maybe Hookie even. Well, I guess that it lines up with a little bit of, I guess, with what it's Chozo was saying. It also, I think, lines up a little bit. I got this off a list off of Anime Planet for this character being most hated today. So anybody catch the coloring of Princess Peach combined with Tila? It's strange how Rimuru names all the goblins and yet they don't get any focus despite the first group of people to take Rimuru in. Okay, so this down. Okay, and this comes under her arm. And okay, I think I got this. Okay, there we go. The goblins just become henchmen for the MC. No questions asked. Do, do, do. I'm glad Cheshire of Japan Publishing Company that owns Jump has decided to no longer go all in on the reincarnation isekai trend, realizing only 10% of ones they published made any money. Oh, maybe that was no longer go all in on reincarnation isekai trend. Oh, yes, it was no longer. I am on phone. Ah, okay. So that mean you're out and about? The show doesn't even try to characterize any of the monsters under Rimuru despite giving them names, just sidelines them in favor of human mercs who mainly work for the human kingdom. Huh? Well, that's sometimes how it works. You just give a character a name just so it has a name. Oh yeah, just like naming. I just like naming things. I even name rocks sometimes. when you're the main character, when your main character is the leader of a faction, you expect his followers to get some focus. Not really. Or not very much. The odd time you may say something about a few of them or whatever, you're usually focusing on the main character and things about him. You don't usually focus too much on the supporting cast. And then it depends on how far down the supporting cast they are, too. Yeah, well, definitely for sure that could be. Probably made this skirt way too big for her. We have a stranger in a strange land, and yet the show doesn't bother characterizing the locals. Well, does the show tell you what the main character thinks of the locals? Because that's what I would really expect to see from possibly is the main character or the main characters. Their um, interpretation. I think the bigger issue that no one really gets characterized, including the main character. Oh well, the main character isn't characterized. Yeah, that's probably a bit of a problem. Yeah, that would work if this was a diary journal story. Generation F. Yeah. Well, I know nothing about it, so I'm just saying. Getting challenged isn't the only way to show character, but they don't really do any of the other ways either. Says metal. Yeah, like there isn't even any internal quandary or anything else. Well, now, dumb question. Has it only ever been an anime? Was it a manga first? The only character that's characterized is the dumb prince of lizardmen tribe who has an ego despite his hilarious incompetence. Light novel, I think. Okay, the only reason I asked that question is whether anybody had read the actual, I was going to say manga, but in this case, I guess light novel. And then, but if been a light novel, then sometimes putting whoever was adapting it for anime maybe just didn't do a good job. Because obviously, if it was a light novel, it was popular enough to get a manga or an anime version. So I'm not sure whether that means anything or not. Yeah, I've never engaged in the source material. If Marsupial wasn't watching it, I would have never have put the show on. Most of the light novels themselves are written poorly. Yeah, the threshold for necessity and popularity in this genre has been exceptionally low because of Shayu previously went all in on the reincarnation Isekai during that time. Oh, okay. Okay, let's. Get her head in here, I guess. Do, 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 do. It was that time I got reincarnated as slime that gave the permanent hatred for the entire reincarnation Isekai genre. Says Fitzchozo. Uh, there we go. Okay, so oh, looks like she can use this sword in any hand, either hand. Ah, jeez. Oh well. Choo, choo, choo. Okay, yeah, I read that already. Okay, I think I'm gonna put this next layer over. You know what I should do down here? There we go.
Hey, Ricky
Hey,
boy.
hey, Metal, how are you? I don't know why almost every
I'm
time.
alive.
I don't know why almost every time you come in, it startles the snot out of me.
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe it's because I like to operate in a way that scares people, you know? Like,
yeah, I'm thinking it's I get so engrossed in what I'm doing. Nobody's come in for a while. Although sometimes it happens when you're at the beginning of the show when you come in too, but especially when I'm, been doing stuff for a while and nobody's come in, not expecting, and then suddenly this big loud
Oh, I remember
voices.
back in college with my roommate, I would just say he'd be playing Call of Duty or something on his computer, and he's the type of guy that he has like his desk and everything facing the wall opposite of his door. So I would just like walk in silently, just not making a sound at all, and I would just stand behind him, watching him play through the entire match for like maybe 5 minutes straight. And then after he was done, I'd be like, into his ear, man, that was a really rough game, wasn't it? And then he'd be freaked out, like, God dang it, Tommy, why are you doing that?
Oh, hey, Tim. Tim is in the chat. Yeah, Fitzchilder was asking who requested this today, and I'm like, no one. I just looked up anime characters, went on Anime Planet, and she was under the most hated characters for today.
Yeah.
But I thought her looked cool, so.
I have an Anime Planet account that I've had for 15 years, maybe? I don't know. I like it, though. I don't ever go on the site because most of the people on there are just god-awful. I wouldn't want to engage with most of them. Their forums are awful, too. But it is a very, very useful site for visualizing just how much anime you've watched. Because you can put down which series that you've watched and how many times you've watched it through, like how many laps you've made, and it will actually add up in a visual display your life on anime.
Oh, wow. Tim says you should draw a character from Trigun. Well, you know what? Put that in the comments after the video today, and next week I'll do that. Tim. I have tried drawn Trigun before. Of course, that was on Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition. Tim would like to know what makes them awful.
The same things that used to make Tumblr awful, and then parts of Twitter after the Tumblr exodus, They're the type of people that sometimes you wonder, man, I can't believe you even claim to like anime. They're the type of people that once they get moderation power, they actually start banning traditional weebs and stuff.
So it's this type of people that, that you would wonder, do you actually like comics?
Or anything at all,
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Okay, goodbye, everybody. And I believe he means Vash the Stampede, the humanoid typhoon. That's the name of the main character from Trigun. There's no character named Trigun. It's just the name of the series.
Oh, okay. Well, I probably drew him then. Back on the Drawn and Quartered, I believe.
The spiky blonde hair guy with the red overcoat?
Yes, Vash.
Yeah. Vash the Stampede.
He says Vash, I mean, yeah. He says good. Oh, you mean Vash the Stampede. Tim says douchebags, in other words, for the people on Anime Planet.
Douchebags with nose rings and brightly colored hair.
Okay, so I wonder if we can get a good look at her sword. Tim said, I saw it was Bash, but apparently it was wrong. He said clown hair.
I I wanted to ask, should I try playing the Borderlands games? Like, what kind of crazy weapons can you get in Borderlands?
No, don't play Borderlands. You'll hate it.
Why? Why you know?
Because you hate everything.
I mean, I don't hate everything.
I don't think Borderlands will give you the type of customability or even the outrageous sprawl of weapons that you would particularly like. They do have some pretty crazy weapons, but they're kind of crazy in the sense of like they're guns, but they're like RPG modifiers to things.
Oh, oh. It's not like
You might find in like Borderlands 2, you can get a gun that shoots swords that explode into more swords. There are some things that are kind of wacky, but most of the weapons you'll ever get is like this sniper rifle has homing bullets and does fire damage or something like that, you know.
Oh, it's not like Fallout where you got like the super heated Saturday Night Fist where you punch somebody and burn them, or Fallout New Vegas like what we had like a or like yeah, all kinds of wacky weapons in those DLCs. Like
I mean, in the DLCs, you can get some wacky stuff. They have what you call legendary tier weapons because they use the MMO color grading for weapons, right? So you have like common, uncommons, rares, super rares, legendaries. And the legendary weapons are the ones where you'll find all of the craziest stuff in.
you don't get a sword that's on fire like in Fallout or that like nothing like that.
Well, there's not really swords so much. But it's all guns. Some of the guns have bayonets and stuff on them that have special abilities and stuff. I'm guarantee you could get a bayoneted gun where if you melee somebody, you set them on fire. That is definitely something that you could do in the game. Pre-sequel has laser guns, which have their own unique effects and stuff. Borderlands 2 has iridium weapons, which also do kind of weird things on their own.
Oh, but they're nowhere near as wacky as like Dead Rising, where you have like
No, not even close to Dead Rising.
No. Oh no, like you have a gun like freezer gun or something, like a gun that shoot dildos, a gun, a teddy bear sentry gun.
No, nothing like that.
No. Yeah. Oh, nowhere near it.
Tim
in fact,
says
the whole thing about Borderlands is that it's trying to give you what is functionally like the kind of Diablo, maybe like old school MMO experience of exploring a planet, getting quests. There is a main storyline, dungeon crawler type situation in a first-person shooter direction. They even have like raid bosses, and you can do the whole game by yourself, but it's kind of designed for you to play with up to 3 other people. Some of the best balance in multiplayer, though, because everything is balanced around the single player, and then the world gets harder the more people who hop in, so that it still feels as fun, even if you're playing with other people.
Yeah, I stopped playing team because there's no way I can get good at most of the classes on a trackpad, especially on this trackpad. Because if you're not try maining spy, and the problem is with this trackpad, a lot of times I will just click the right edge of it and still left click anyway. So a lot of times I'll try to go invisible, but I should just shoot my revolver and then I give my location away, or because there's no separation between left click and right click, and and sometimes I left click the attack somebody, and then but it just brings up my weapon wheel. Again, I need an actual mouse. The problem is this laptop doesn't accept no mouses, plug-in mouses for me. I don't get it.
Neither do I. Then Tim says there was a time when that was cool, the clown hair. Not so much now. And then he says, I hate that he might hate that game. And cut up with the chat. This sword's hilt is very painful to draw.
Like the weapons in Borderlands, I assume will at least be as wacky as Ratchet and Clank, but apparently that's not even the case. There's nowhere near the
I
case.
mean, legendary weapons can get there, but like most of the stuff you get along the way aren't.
Uh, uh,
Yeah. The first game, a lot of weapons, which they brought this back in Borderlands 3, they had this system where things that weren't legendary could have their modifiers somewhat randomized, just so you had no idea what you got. Borderlands 2, because they thought it would be more fun and easier to balance, they just pre-seeded all of the weapons in the game before they launched it and just assigned it a randomizer to distributing the weapons. Though it still ended up with just as many weapons as the original game. They just had more control over what modification combinations they thought were fun. But they brought back the whole seeded weapon part thing in the third one.
I mean, can you name any games?
Fourth game.
Any games that do have a focus on wacky weapons?
Redneck Rampage.
Like out.
Aside from Dead Rising, no, because I don't really play those games. Like some games like Soul Calibur, every character will have a joke weapon, but that's usually the thing. Is like if there is something wacky, it'll be a limited joke thing. Like in God of War 1, where there is Kratos. I don't necessarily want to say the word dairy B word outfit that puts him in a cow suit and he swings around jugs of milk instead. Like like games will have their joke thing. But I don't really play a lot of games where everything's built on like crazy wacky weapons. I actually don't even really care that much for Ratchet and Clank personally. I don't think they're bad games. In fact, the game I liked the most out of the whole series was the PSP game where you just played as Clank.
I know about that Ratchet and Clank, but I don't think I've ever played it. Not that I have anything against it, just...
I think the storytelling in the games are good. I did enjoy, what was it called? Was it Ratchet and Clank Free Fall for All or whatever? The 4-player one for, I think it was like the PS3 or maybe PS4. I played it with Buck. I had fun playing that with him. I think that the game is kind of more fun with all that wacky stuff when you put it in almost like a Diablo-esque sort of setting, multiplayer and everything. I just don't really care so much for those games as single player. I think I actually preferred the movie to the games because I think their storytelling is good, but I don't care for the games. But agreeing, not that I think the games are bad. They're just not for me. I think they're great games. There's a reason why the franchise has lasted as long as it has.
Like a Dead Rising 3, you can make a spring-loaded foam finger that kills zombies. Kills people. Like wow.
The funny thing is, I've played the Dead Rising games. I just never spend too much time on the customization because it's there if you want to have fun. You don't have to go that deep into them to beat the games, though.
I know, there's all these options that the player.
Which I kind of prefer when it's that way. It's like, give the players a lot of fun. Give them reasons to want to do the stuff, but just make it optional, you know?
Like I can imagine a MacGyver game where that's the main mechanic, or something like that, or a game about. Can you imagine that?
The question is, does he want to? Yeah, sure. I guess I can imagine it. Not that I'm really trying.
I'm sorry, I walked away. I overstirred my tea and needed to get a paper towel. What were we talking about?
Oh, he's
I
just
said I
wondering.
can't imagine.
Go ahead.
Can you imagine a MacGyver game where that's the main mechanic with just these wacky weapons?
I mean, it depends what you're doing with them, though. You know, like wacky weapons, a great game does not make unless you have something mechanically interesting to do with the wacky weapons. Or some other draw to the game, right? Like, I don't know. If you had a game that maybe it was an arcade run, or maybe it was trying to focus on the story, but it's like, well, we still want some interesting gameplay thing for you to do while you're focusing on the story, then I could see like using that type of wacky weapon sort of setup as the way of doing that. But I don't think by itself that makes a game fun. Most games that even do anything like that, like Dead Rising, have other things about it that, in conjunction with the stuff, make the game fun.
Hopefully, the plot or whatever, the story. I think it was probably something you need too with it to make it fun. I guess you could just play it
It
without.
depends, because like you don't even need. Technically, every game has a plot, but you don't even need much of a narrative, right? Like the plot of the game could just be the actions that you do to succeed in the game, which is very
Yeah.
traditional for a lot of games.
Yeah.
Well,
Like for example, Mega Man has a plot that you actually get to decide which order it happens in, but it doesn't have a narrative.
True.
now I wish Resident Evil 8 allowed the player to pick which bosses he handles first.
Oh
They
yeah,
they
that
they
could be
they,
interesting, especially because
they
everything's
didn't do that.
so spread out
The
and there's
main
like different like locations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That could be a fun
because
thing.
Far Cry 5 did that, and I know they did that. We had you choose which bosses you want to take down first. What's the C family, and then you take down the main one at the end.
And you would think if anybody would do that, it would be Capcom.
Hmm.
Though they don't
Because they did that for Mega
because of
Man.
Mega Man. Yeah.
I
So
know.
it's like I would like them to do that in like the next Devil May Cry game. Because I do like the Devil May Cry stories and stuff, and I think their exploration areas are really good, though they haven't been as good as the original game. So it would be really cool that if they changed up the plot, especially if you have, because there's no way they're not going to have Dante, Virgil, and Nero all playable again like the last time. If you actually got to like swap between them and decide what order you do things in, and maybe doing something in a certain order would make other things easier, because Devil May Cry is also very much like Mega Man in the fact that like beating bosses give you access to new weapons. So having like a new weapon style might make a different boss easier. That would be a really fun thing to do, and I don't know why Devil May Cry hasn't done that yet. Other than like the studio not being interested in is probably the main reason they haven't done it yet.
Either that or, the people haven't thought of it yet. For whatever reason.
Yeah, you could consider the original Devil May Cry kind of like a Metroidvania game in 3D, right? So they basically they tore apart Resident Evil 2 specifically to make it on the next console generation. That's how long it took them to make it. But they tore it apart and changed models and stuff. That's the reason why Dante's original model was kind of slender and his haircut was the same as Leon's, just white.
It's supposed to be Leon.
Yeah, they just remodeled Leon. But taking that exploration manor style sort of thing and bringing it into an action platformer, because there's jumping and aerial combat involved in Devil May Cry, you accidentally make a 3D Metroidvania game. Like, it's very, very Castlevania in that regard. And it's still what you would call, like, mostly linear, because there's a lot of backtracking and you unlock different doors and stuff like that. But that's how things are in Metroidvania, where the game is mostly linear until you get the thing you need, and then you backtrack over to the other place. And then maybe they'll have like split paths where it's like, okay, now that I've unlocked this thing, I can decide if I want to do this thing or this thing first. But then after you have done both of them, it goes back onto a linear path.
Cool.
They haven't done that yet, or since. Like, 2 was kind of sort of like that. 2 actually almost took the Resident Evil Village route, to where it mostly took place outside in like a cityscape, and there was a bunch of different locations you went to instead of going across an entire like manor, castle, mansion thing. People don't like 2 on average, by the way. Like, it's the black sheep of the Devil May Cry franchise. People consider it more of a black sheep than the Ninja Theory spin-off DMC Devil May Cry that people hate. I think the gameplay is good, but it shouldn't be a Devil May Cry game. But since then, they've kind of done more of like the arcade style run, like Resident Evil 5 started, where it's chapter based or mission based, and you do some limited exploration during a chapter, but you're not going to go back to that place after that chapter. You're just moving on to the next one. Which was always disappointing to me. I love Devil May Cry 3 as a game, but I think Devil May Cry 1 is probably still the best Devil May Cry because of everything it does. But if you're going to do something chapter-based, might as well take the Mega Man route. Mega Man's like one of the original chapter-based games where you just decide which of what was in the original 6 chapters, which ones you want to do first, and then the final chapter afterwards.
However, if you do it in a certain order, it does make the bosses easier.
Quite easy. Yeah, the boss fight easier. I know.
Yeah, because bosses have counters. In fact, there's a way that you can have the hardest possible run where you go after an order where none of the things that you're getting in that order counter anyone until the very final one, because you just have too much stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess depending on how you do it, you could probably even end up or could you end up without the thing that you need to defeat that last guy? No, I don't think.
Well, no, because the last guy you'd have done literally all the other guys, so
Yeah.
you had to pick up the one that counters him.
No, that's impossible. Exactly.
But
mathematically, it's impossible.
Yeah. But you could choose not to use that particular weapon, too.
Well, yeah, because there's runs where people do it with only Mega Man's traditional Mega Blaster and none of the other weapons. And it's possible. Some of the games, it's hard to get to the boss without using some of the stuff from the other ones. Like, oh my god, which one was it? Is it Crash Man stage in 2? That is just, like, ridiculous. But
so.
You can always fight all the bosses with just the Mega Blaster, yeah. Like, man, I know the laser grid. It is possible to get down and not get hit by the lasers if you like swing and hug one wall versus the other. You know which direction they're coming out. I've seen people do it. I'm not about that life. I am getting like Flashman's time stop before I do that level every time.
Yeah.
It's just not fun. It's not even about the challenge or not. It's not a fun challenge to get through that laser grid. I just want it done.
I think I played Mega Man probably not fully on the emulator a long time ago when I was a little kid, the first one, but I never actually got through it, got through the whole game.
Well, the first one is definitely hard.
Yeah, I think the first one's overall harder than 2. I think 2 has some harder stages, but because there's a lot of easier ones before that that can help you mitigate it, it's an overall easier game.
Yeah, I think I only ever beat Cutman. That's the only boss I actually beat.
Yeah, well, I think the hardest one to get to is Rockman. Is it Rockman? Gutsman, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Gutsman, yeah.
Rockman's main character.
Well, that's what he's called in Japan, but
yeah, well, they've never called a character Rockman in America, so that it's not confusing.
Yeah, yeah. I just know there's a lot of rocks on that stage, and he's throwing rocks, I believe. Giant boulders. So yeah, that's why I got slightly.
Yeah. It's because he's a workout themed robot and a construction themed robot, so it's kind of like Demolition.
Yeah.
Gutsman's cool. He's also a fan favorite. He shows up in like every media.
Why is he called Gutsman? Because does he eat people?
No, because he has guts. Like, do you have it? Guts.
He has the guts to do it, something or whatever, So, do you have the guts to do whatever?
Yep. And that's a name that they didn't even localize. His name in Japanese is Gatsuman.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still thinking about Berserk. That makes me think Berserk.
He's a really buff civil engineering robot involved in construction and demolition, and that's why he throws boulders at you.
I'm thinking about Berserk. Should I even try to finish that Black Swordsman arc? Because I just got up to I remember when last time I read it, I just got up to just before the eclipse, but I stopped caring at that point.
If you have to ask, I'm going to say no.
But yeah, just rescued Griffith. I was like, and he's mutilated. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't even like the characters. I'm like,
Rick, I only just noticed your title is way too long. That you can't even fit all the words on it.
Oh,
and that's that time I got Reincarnated as a slime. Of course, it has a long time. All visual.
It's not even just that though. He could have fit that in there, but he also has like unnecessary the words "I am drawing up manga character." That is stopping him from even able just putting the word slime to finish off the title of the thing he's drawing it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put the manga thing in there all the time, so I could definitely take that out to finish it off or whatever properly.
I don't think I remember these characters. I stopped watching that time we got reincarnated as a slime when we got to when Rimuru defeated the Orc King easily. Then that's when I stopped watching. I mean, it was already pretty boring by that point. By that point, I'm like, the fact he just defeats the Orc King with no struggle at all. I'm like, what's even the point of this? Because even the point of the show, it's like, yeah, if all that build up and just defeats the Orc King with Orc King with no effort at all. Like,
Well, power
Yeah.
fantasy is extremely popular right now, like just pure power fantasy. I think there's getting some bounce back on that though, because we've just had it for so long that people are getting bored of pure power fantasy.
exactly, because it feels it legitimately feels like Saitama, but they try to take it seriously. That's how it feels. Like what? Like what do you mean after all that build up, just that way? What? That's how it felt. Like wait, this was this you built this character up and then he just dies. Okay, what was even the point? Multiple
Don't
episodes,
worry though, we probably won't see too much of this stuff for a while going forward. There's still gonna be plenty of people writing it in like light novel and more probably web novel form than anything. Some of these light novels started off as web novels before Shueisha picked them up, but and Kadokawa picked up quite a few of them too. But they're going to be pivoting away from that. They spent way too much money going all in on it, picking up things that were barely popular, right? Like if they even had a hint of popularity at all, they're like, we're going to run you, right? And they've lost a lot of money over it.
I know.
So they're like, yep, let's spread out other genres. Let's get some like normal, pure, because most of them are rom-coms anyway. The vast majority of reincarnation stories end up being rom-coms. And there's only like, I'm going to say there's definitely probably some good ones I haven't read. So I'll estimate there's probably 5 good rom-com reincarnations, but that's just being generous. The only one I know of is Konosuba. And that's if you're into that type of rom-com. Though that one actually was extremely popular.
And ReZero is basically a romance, but it's not reincarnation. But he doesn't die. He just walks through a portal. But ReZero is technically a romance.
ReZero is weird because by technicality it is a reincarnation. It just doesn't matter.
No, because ReZero he literally walks through a portal. So I'm like, that's how he got to the fantasy world.
Yeah, like he got isekai normally, but like it still falls into the reincarnation genre because he's technically time
always dying and coming back.
Yeah, it's just a like, weird technicality that I'm like, it shouldn't be there.
Just like Edge of Tomorrow, where he just dies and his time resets.
Yeah, and that was actually labeled as a reincarnation story as well. Not an isekai, but reincarnation.
No, but anyways, but ReZero's romance, but it's not really a comedy. It's just drama.
I think probably because the Japanese don't have a different word for reincarnation and rebirth. That's probably why. They use the same word for both.
Okay, but another thing is that I don't really why is the only thing you can do with this concept is a rom-com. Like that, I don't get it. It's like,
oh no, it's not that it's the only thing you could do with the concept. You got to look at it differently, because the concept of reincarnating into another world, or even just isekaiing period, but reincarnation is the way that most people do it now, is the popular trend. And people even know that by making that type of story, you might get picked up by a publisher. They are taking the story they were going to write anyway and turning it into a reincarnation isekai. So the person was already going to write a rom-com, and then they made the rom-com into a fantasy reincarnation isekai.
But if it generally when I watch these isekai things, it generally doesn't feel like the author's trying to tell a story at all. They just it's kind of like mass produced factory to produce entertainment. That's how it feels. Like it's even more so than the MCU. Like this is not like this is.
Well, I mean, it depends on the goal of your story, right? Like if you're trying to do a rom-com, right? Like which is they're doing the situational comedy, episodic storytelling where it's just about like what happens that day is a very popular style of storytelling. Now, most of them don't need the settings they're in. Right, that's the thing. Is like most of them don't actually require anything about it except for the characteristics of the characters being involved in with each other.
And another
they're just doing it in a way that gets them published.
Yeah, exactly. Because they don't do
Yeah,
anything with these fans for the most
which
part.
probably
That's
ends
kind of
up.
the issue.
Which is smart.
They don't do they don't do anything with these fancy settings. That's kind of the issue. Like
Yeah, it's smart to
the
do
main
it, but it probably makes the story suffer somewhat.
It also depends
right.
too, right? Like, because a lot of them, it isn't about overarching storytelling. It's about just the episode
But
and
even then,
liking the characters.
they still don't do anything with the
Well, I'm saying, like,
fancy.
one of the things is for some people, it just not taking place on Earth is enough. It already just makes it more interesting. It's like, oh, this is like a high school drama, but we're not at high school on Earth or anything like that. Like that already just makes it more appealing to a lot of people.
I don't get it. I don't get it. If you don't do anything with the setting, then what's the difference?
Well, I know you don't get it. I don't think you're ever going to get it.
What's the difference? It's not on Earth. Yeah, you can put a little bit of extra wackier stuff in it. That's about it. You can give them space rays and stupid stuff like that.
But another thing I pointed out is that like a lot of these isekais, it doesn't seem like the author even wants to tell a story to begin with, or even try to be funny. Like most rom coms are not funny.
Well, they're not funny
It's
to
like I don't.
you. They might be funny to other people. Comedy is a real subjective thing.
Oh, especially when you figure out how many of this stuff is actually written primarily for girls, and it's like, well, while humor can be broad, the more specific parts of humor can vary among culture and even gender. Guys and girls, on average, find things differently funny from each other. But then also, culturally, people find things differently funny from each other.
Yeah, so, yeah, because humor in Japan is different than humor here, too. And if it does, I'd say if it doesn't get localized, then
Humor here, if you want whatever you want to define as here, right, can vary in different environments right next door to each other, right? Like coming from a poorer kind of like blue collar life, also kind of growing up in a bit of a cow town, right?
yeah,
My brother's girlfriend is like a very, very typical. Um, she has a journalist degree, right? Went to college, wants to live that sort of like urban monoculture style life. Her and her friends will make a joke and laugh at him like, I have no idea what was funny about the thing that you just said, like at all.
yeah,
I'm sure you found it hilarious. I'm sure within your little subculture that is astoundingly funny. And it's not just like the other girls, like some of the guys in her friend group and stuff will laugh at it too. And it's like, I just do not get it at all. It does not click with me. I am not part of your culture. And maybe if I spend enough time around it, I can laugh empathetically because I could start to understand your culture. But the amount that I've dove into it now, I do not get it at all.
yeah. Well, I'm sort of reminded of probably a few episodes of Big Bang Theory where the guys are saying something funny to them, but to Penny, she's just clueless because of she knows nothing of the geek culture or the tech people or whatever. So it's not even funny to her because she doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then we'll get like a lot of stuff over here where if you're going to also judge the writing of anything from Japan, I would recommend watching it subbed with subs because a lot of that stuff is also being changed from the localization, even on the sub level, to where they try to make it the humor more broad, which I find a lot of the humor gets drained out of something when they do that. But like you can still judge it. Just judge it on like when people do the fan subs because they're usually more literal to what the original script was. And then you'll realize like, oh well, maybe this comedy too maybe wasn't even broadly funny in Japan because this is actually a very niche show with a niche level of comedy.
Yeah.
Did you know? Does Japan have a weird thing with blood types?
Yes. They treat blood types similarly to like how girls over here might treat the zodiac. They can predict things about your personality based on your blood type. That is a thing in Japan. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It was actually
No.
I think they removed it from modern versions of the series, partially maybe due to privacy laws. I don't know, but maybe also because people didn't get it. In the older Animal Crossing games, the first two questions the villagers that you talk to in your town would ask you is, "What's your birthday?" so that the game could assign a birthday. Now they don't even ask; they just have like a what's it called? Like a form you could fill out at the beginning. It's like a drop down for your birthday before you even start. And they used to ask you what your blood type was, which would, at least early on in the game, it would have the villagers look at you in specific ways. I think the main reason they stopped doing that is because the villagers just aren't as unique as they used to be. The Animal Crossing's not as fun, in my opinion, as it used to be because they took away a lot of the stuff that make it Animal Crossing. But blood type was a thing they asked you back in the day. And it confused a lot of people. It even confused me as a kid. I'm like, why is it asking me my blood type? So I went to go look it up at all the culture around blood types in Japan so I could learn.
Oh. I don't know why I asked that.
I don't even know what my blood type is.
I thought, but like I'm still thinking about like these reincarnation isekais.
The
I'm like,
donor. I am O negative.
Oh, so same as my dad. No, not me. Well, but I'm thinking about like a lot of these reincarnation isekais. Like, why is it always a demon king when and there's just some nebulous threat? There's some nebulous goal when they do it. It doesn't matter. When it doesn't matter, the demon king's not even the character in the story. Like, I don't get it. It's like, why even add that there?
Culture.
Like, why, if he's not going to matter in the story, why not just remove it? I don't get it.
Because it just sets the environment for the show. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. It's like then as a supporting cast is just a bunch of cute girls for the main character to date. The guy, main character, or vice versa, just reverse the genders. The main character's female. Like, why?
That's usually like the main thing that turns me off. Like, I know why it's popular, very, very popular. I'm not super into like the harem stories or whatever. There's some that I like. I think some of them are written really well, but if it's kind of a turnoff to me if it's not written really well aside from that. Like, I really like Tenchi. I think Tenchi is a fun story. That takes place here on Earth. That's not an isekai. But I don't find myself watching a lot of harem stuff in general because it's like I kind of just want to see the struggle of the romance, and most harem stories don't have romantic struggle. I like Tenchi because there is romantic struggle between him and every one of the possible suitors, but it still ends up as a true harem ending where he marries all of them, but only after a bunch of trials and tribulation. Most of the ones you're talking about, like, it's like, oh, you're just part of the harem now. There's like no trial, nothing. It's like, Yeah, I get it. It's part of the power fantasy for the people who want it. Does nothing for me.
He's all like that's the problem. It's all power fans. They not. They don't feel like they're actually trying to make a show. It's like, are they trying? Are they even trying to make a show that they'll tell any kind of story or or give any kind of actual episodic adventures? Nothing. Just making power fantasy. That's it.
Well, I think it's a subversion to the or not a subversion, a reversion more than anything. Because while we were dealing with subversive content and stuff over here, and a lot of it was, our U.S. media is world media. It gets sent everywhere, right? They're dealing with all of our very cynical, disingenuous stuff, and at the same time, there were creators over there that were just so bored with how things were that they were trying to subvert everything. Not in necessarily cynical ways, but they were going a lot of grim dark with a lot of things. I think it's a pendulum swing back of we're tired of abusing the characters. We're tired of the infinite struggle. We just want the characters to be happy and powerful for a change. The pendulum's going to swing right back again. I don't think it would have swung in the direction it's in as hard if, like Sueisha and Kadokawa didn't go so hard on those type of stories publishing them. Like if they just let it be a little more natural.
Yeah. What's the direct swinging towards now? What we have now?
It's hard to tell because we're in the middle of it. There's a few things it could be. We're looking. I think we're getting more team-oriented stories coming up. Part of it is we're seeing like reboots of some older things that people have been asking for, like Ronin Warriors is coming back. But just like series where you have a tight crew of people that are solving problems are one of the directions we're going. There's a chance that Grim Dark might be coming back because the pendulum swung a little too hard. So we'll see. I think it's going to take maybe 3 to 5 years for us to know where the trend's actually going to be.
Okay.
It seems like high school rom-coms are back in full swing, though.
I know. That's been doing for a couple years now.
Yeah, and I've used to prefer things that were rom-coms that weren't high school because I just not a huge fan of school and was tired of them, but they kind of feel like a breath of fresh air by comparison.
Not
this
really.
one obviously is a little bit older now, 2018, but I've been watching My Dress Up Darling with Marsupial, and it's hilarious. And it's like I
remember I watched the first couple episodes of that and I never finished it because I just didn't care. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, but I'm also not judging your taste on anything, so I'm just going by what I like.
Yeah, and that's usually everybody has different tastes. And you know what? Sometimes different places in your life, things appeal more to you for various reasons.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But in my case, I didn't like the show because it's not very interesting. Just guy plays with dolls. Decides to date. Oh look, there's a horny girl at school and he's hot, but he's too nervous to talk to her. I'm like, I don't care. This is so played out.
I find it hilarious.
It's just so played out. It's been done 1,000 times before.
Oh, boo-hoo. Nobody cares if something's been played out. They only care if they find it entertaining.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, maybe it's been done 1,000 times before. Maybe it's not been done this way. Maybe it's,
Oh, no, it's been done the exact... It's pretty much just the same as Manga Sensei.
Yeah.
It's basically the same show.
I don't know about that, but also the other thing I was going to say is maybe the person that's viewing this for the first time or second time hasn't seen all the other places where it's been played out 1,000 times. So it's new to them.
Most people haven't seen Manga Sensei at this point. It's old.
No, I know. It came out when I was like 15, but have you seen it, Metal?
Yes.
Oh, because Manga Sensei and My Dress Up Doll are basically the same.
There's similarities. I would say basically the same, but yeah.
only difference, don't difference that the girl and my dress up doll is the same same age as the main character. That's it. It's the same. And that's the same. Like it's so I'm like I just don't care. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Well, we get that you don't care, you don't like it, and that's fine. That just means you don't watch it, and let the people that like it watch it. Maybe you can judge them if you want for liking it. Fine. They'll judge you for not liking it.
Yeah, that's actually the funny thing too is which I've had to point that out to people a lot of times too. It's like every time you judge somebody for the things they like, they equally judge you for not liking that thing. And it's something that like basically everybody who's not super into sports, right, like watching sports or whatever, went through growing up. It's like, yeah, I get it. You all like American football. I can enjoy going to a game because I'm just enjoying the atmosphere and everything and hanging out with you guys, and I can still follow it, but I'm never on my own time going to watch a game of American football.
Yeah.
And the judgment goes both ways there, you know?
And, it is what it is, and, like, okay, you judge me, I'll judge you, or maybe I won't judge you, maybe you'll judge me.
Yeah, but my dress up doll, like another high school sex comedy you've seen it countless times before. I mean, you had before that you had what's the other show was called? I don't know what's Yamada's first time. I think that's kind of the same. Also, I didn't find that funny.
Yeah, well, you know what? As we said,
all just blended together. There's no.
The thing is, there's been 100 generations before you, and there's going to be 100 generations after, and they're going to be making something new that'll be the same.
And I can watch Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare, and it's funny every time.
I wonder how many people have done Garth Ennis before Garth Ennis?
Oh, dude, I couldn't tell you.
Because
do you know how many like novelists there were through the history of like book publishing that I just don't even know the name of?
Too many. 99% of them.
Oh yeah, well, also because you have to think, most books that ever get published, and we're not even thinking about short form like pulp and stuff too on top of that, right? But most books that ever get published only sell on average 12 copies.
Oh wow!
Right? There are more books that get published every year than comics.
I know.
Every single year. There are authors we will never know the name of, who are some of them even doing the exact same things that you see in the comics that we also will never hear of. In fact, I would find prose being more common. Almost anything that you're ever looking for, if it has been done, odds are it's been done in prose form, but it's also been done by somebody with so little recognition that good luck ever finding it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, to quote Solomon, there's nothing new under the sun.
Oh, yeah. Especially because, like, you couldn't preserve some of the oldest things written, right? Depending on how it was written. We're lucky we have preservation of some things that are paper, but unlike stone tablets and stuff, paper doesn't preserve very well. So, like, anything that's more than a couple thousand years old, good luck on anything that's remotely like paper. Technically, paper is a very specific thing. Paper's not that old. But we have things like it. Canvas, stuff. That stuff doesn't preserve either. It disintegrates the same way that paper does over time. So, like, there could be so many things that were written that we'll just never know was ever written. And then there's also, like, the Library of Alexandria situation, too, where there's just stuff lost to time.
Yeah, that place got burned down, I believe, and it had a whole bunch of stuff, and you know,
It
with it
had what
being
was assumed to be at the time the breadth of human knowledge. Obviously, it didn't have everything, but it had close to what everything could be in recorded form at the time.
yeah, and then once it got destroyed, you know,
All gone.
yeah,
And that's why, like, when you make something, you have you have to have the attitude of, it's okay if it's been done before. I'm doing it now.
yeah,
And that's why I always focus more on, like, when giving people writing advice, voice, like your authorial voice. You could try to do some things that you think are original, creative. Maybe, like, it could have been done and you've just never experienced it. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Great minds think alike. You have to understand, like, you could think alike from somebody who lived 1,500 years ago. What matters more is developing your voice and your ability as a writer. My bigger problem, I think I was saying in the chat before, with the show that you're drawing from, is that, like, nothing in the writing is good. I don't
I know
care
nothing
how
was good.
original something is. I just care how well it's written and if I enjoy it.
I know. Well, it wasn't even about how original it was, because nothing in it was good at all. Like I'm
Yeah,
not even,
the
I'm not even
like
kidding.
nothing's developed.
I know. Like the show doesn't even give much detail to its premise. The main premise that it's supposed to be a city building isekai, yet you don't characterize any tribes that form the main character's kingdom. It's like, huh? Like, that's
Yeah,
just dumb.
but, like, somebody could do something even recently that's already been done. Like, somebody could try to remake The Boys, right? Like, and as long as they focus on actually writing well, right, like creative writing skills and stuff, odds are they could probably make a better Boys than Garth Ennis did.
Was I remember I thought of Witch Hunters, which is was the premise of that is literally just the boys with magical girls.
Yeah, and I don't think I think I've always focused on this too. I don't think the idea is inherently bad. I think if you purely only write it out of spite, it will probably end up bad. Right? You could come up with the idea out of spite, but then you have to step back, right, and just treat it as its own beast, and just focus on developing writing skills. And then if you do
Okay.
that, it could be an all right story. Like, it could be a very enjoyable one.
Mm. Okay, because I have a whole Google doc of it with all the characters. Uh, I remember. It's like I have one girl who's a parody of called Captain Sakura and is sexually depraved. And I have another one who's like supposed to be a parody of Sailor Moon but is lazy and incompetent.
so like Sailor Moon.
Yeah, like, well, it also sounds like which could be a fun theme, since you're trying to do like this hunter thing. Are you going with the route that each one of them is one of the 7 deadly sins?
No, it's
Because
actually six.
Oh, there's only 6. Okay.
There's only 6 of them. There's only 6 of them, and the main character is just a bunch of regular guys.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
like
the twist could be at the end that after taking him down, the hunters find out that they were the sin of pride.
no, there's one prideful one. There's one.
But actually, I guess more they would be the sin of wrath. I guess they're taking all these people out.
But no, but the main character would be like this German guy who's a lawyer who something bad happens to his daughter because of the magical girls. That's the thing. It's a German lawyer man that he got to start killing these Japanese magical girls. What is
Yeah, well, I also like, because I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked about this before too. There's a lot of people. A lot of their stuff starts off as what I would call vent art, right? Where it's something they just have to get out of their system. And some of them could be good ideas, but a lot of them won't leave the emotion that got them to start it in the first place. And it's like, if you take a step back from this, right? Like, you just put it down, outline form, whatever. Take a step back, take a breather. Completely forget what's told you to make this in the first place inside your head, and then retackle it with fresh eyes. often the story gets improved a lot.
Okay.
Shoot, I even do that with the stuff that used to be role playing stories with my friends. Like I buried it under like basically underground, time capsule wise, not literally but metaphorically for several years. And then I come back to it and I look at it with fresh eyes and like, okay, now that I'm not the person who was playing and acting this stuff out with my friends, I can look at that with a second set of eyes and I can retool the story to be better
Okay.
Yeah.
because I'm not
Because
like I'm not as emotionally attached to it anymore.
Okay, I'm thinking about like Garfield. And Garfield does not do that at all. Like we have a gerbil coming out of superhero's ass after he's killed. I'm like, yeah, that was funny though. He
Yeah,
thought
and the emotional
they thought
drive
about he
can
might have.
lead to a lot of interesting ideas, but it can also lead to worse writing. And that's why, like, it's nice to wear multiple hats, right? Like, I wear different hats when it comes to the initial writing and when it comes to my editing my own stuff, right? I will sleep deprived because I'm most creative when I'm sleep deprived. Go through, write everything, but the grammar, the spelling, everything's horrible at that time because I'm just like in that creative flow state. I will close it and then I will come back fully rested, maybe a day or two later, and I will look back at what I wrote. I will fix all of the technical errors, but also be like, maybe this paragraph would be better if I moved it up 2 paragraphs, stuff like that. I went a little too hard here. I don't think it actually benefits the story. Let me either remove or rewrite that. It helps to look at your stuff as if you're multiple people.
Yeah. And it's good to go back, like and reread and see how coercive,
Like
how
for
good it sounds.
one example. I stopped watching. I stopped watching a Dollhouse not because it's a bad show, but because I want to write the outline of Curls and Feathers first, like each episodes
That's
for
fair.
season of Curls and Feathers first. Didn't watch Dollhouse because the concept I have is already basically the same. So
You don't want to be too influenced. That's understandable.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because
In some ways, like, as an example of how I look at this, have you ever seen the movie Are We Done Yet?
I think I have, yeah.
I would expect more
glitched
Rick
out.
to have than
What you
Faith,
said?
just because. Are We Done Yet? It came out in 2007.
Oh yeah,
So
I've
if
seen
you
it.
haven't seen it, oh, you have?
Yes, are we there yet? Are we done yet? Yeah.
Yeah. So you know how, like, in that one, when they go to the town, John C. McGinley's character is everyone. Like, anytime you need something, he just, like, takes off one hat and puts on the other one, and like, I'm your guy. He's like every single job in the town. That's kind of like how you need to be when you're writing your stuff. You need to have different mindsets and different hats for the different parts of what you're doing.
Mm.
Yeah, and sometimes that can be hard, especially criticizing your
Oh, it
own
definitely
stuff.
can.
But like I know
Are you
usually
kidding?
it's
I look
been
at my stuff all the time and like, that's trash. I can make it better.
I know there's lots of stuff that I've went back and I've read and God, what was I thinking? Now this is years later. And
Well,
especially when I
I'm
was
still trying to figure.
first starting out. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm still trying to figure out how Osama Tezuka came up with the idea of the conjoined twin, who gets her own body and becomes a sidekick to the gets her own body, synthetic body, and becomes a sidekick to the main character. I'm like,
I would
that's the main character.
imagine sleep deprivation.
Actually, that doesn't seem actually that hard, because what conjoined, not that we know a lot of conjoined twins, but what wouldn't you automatically think that a conjoined twin would want to be separate? So then it's just, how do I
No,
separate them?
no. the character I'm talking about, Pinocchio. The backstory for Pinocchio is that she was the conjoined twin of some girl that Blackjack once operated on. Or some woman that the Blackjack once operated on, and then he created a separate synthetic body for the nervous system of that conjoined twin.
Yeah, I get that. Well, so it would start out by, oh, conjoined twins. Wouldn't they want to be separated? Oh, how do I separate them?
Well,
You know,
I think he's actually working
well,
backwards, right? I think it's more, I want to have a character with a mostly synthetic body. How do I work backwards to find a story that gets the character to the body?
Yeah, that could work too.
Okay, that's like well, why?
Especially
why,
if you
why
look at the writing of Blackjack, a lot of the writing is basically backwards working, right? Even the way that some of, like the mysteries and stuff are.
Yeah,
so
well,
I think he even treated the characters that way too.
Yeah,
I
well,
like,
I obviously haven't read or watched it.
Why did Blackjack need a synthetic sidekick? Was he trying to copy everybody?
No, I think he just wanted the character to be fun. You know, like it fit Blackjack as a character to have a sidekick like that.
Yeah. But
I will say a lot of Tezuka's ideas, and one of the reasons he was probably so creative, because he's a very creative guy, I would say is sleep deprivation. That dude was so productive, always working, never slept, and was basically just like writing on coffee and cigarettes the entire time. Like it just straight up, coffee was kept him awake for days on end so he could work.
Okay.
And when you're sleep deprived, it's kind of like being inebriated, which does actually kind of make you a little more, your inhibitions disappear, which also means that your creativity gets a little wild.
Because I watched the first episode of the 10-episode 90s OVA of Blackjack. You don't know. That's how I was watching. I didn't even know about Pinocchio. Like, but like I'm like, because you probably didn't even know this anime was a thing.
Oh no, I know.
Episode. Oh, okay.
I've never watched it. I've only ever read Blackjack, but I'm aware of it.
From the 90s. You know, like I know he did another one in 2000s. And now we're working backwards. I can now see how Frank and Fran is supposed to be a parody of Blackjack. I can see it now. It's kind of dumb, but she's nothing like Blackjack now. But that's kind of the same when you remove the morals of any character.
Yeah, and for its 50th anniversary, there was a 32-page one-shot story continuation of Blackjack that was generated by AI. By I think it was Tezuka's grandson, but it was by a relative. And he wrote the story using some stuff from Osamu, but obviously he wanted the art to look exactly the same. Yeah, so they basically just generated the art for it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But it's like when you make a parody of Blackjack and you remove all of his morals, it just stops resembling Blackjack. So.
Yeah. I mean, his morals and principles are what make Blackjack who he is.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So because Fran's closer to Krieger from Archer than she is to Blackjack, even though it's supposed to be a parody of him.
I like Krieger. Krieger's a funny character.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of the same scenario as like Rick from Rick and Morty. This is the same deal. But Black.
Yeah, except the difference is like Krieger is like your typical just like total nerd character though, right? Like he made his own AI waifu and everything.
Yeah. That's how many people has he killed?
Well, how many people has anybody in Archer killed? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. More indirect kills than direct, but he's definitely had direct kills.
I think Fran probably has killed more people than Krieger. I'm pretty
Oh yeah,
sure.
for sure. Most of Krieger's kills you would chalk up to like maybe Archer's kills using stuff that Krieger made for him.
I'm pretty sure Fran has been responsible for about as much death as Johnny the Homicide Maniac at this point in the manga. So that's just how
Probably.
it's going.
Krieger might also be a partial clone of Hitler.
I know. Well, might be. We don't know. No, we can never confirm that.
Yeah, it's something that Mrs. Archer Mallory is just like holding over his head as a way of controlling him.
Well, I haven't got it. Well, haven't got it fully recolored, but
You've got it barely colored.
well,
Barely
technically,
cut.
I've got all the colors there, but they're not tight. I can show them all, but let's see. So, but it is 9:05. It's that time. So, anything you'd like to promote, Fitzchozo?
I like to promote my YouTube channel because there's going to be another video soon. I just finished writing the script before coming on. So
Okay, awesome. What is your YouTube channel?
the Fish Chozo Corner.
Okay.
That's literally just.
Well, people can't see your name or whatever, so just for them to know, just for the few people. Time for what? Says Alpha. Hey, Alpha. Time to end the show.
Hold on. I can link it myself. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna grab it for you. I'm already at your channel.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There's his channel link.
Okay. Alpha, it's Fizz Chozo Corner. Okay, since Metal did that for you, anything you'd like to promote, Metal?
Yes, the one, the only, the wonderful xdynamuschaos.com, the home of everything X Dynamis Chaos. My fictional world that contains a ton of things that I have made so far. Comics of long-form web and short variety, web novels, and as soon as I'm able to finish it, man, it is driving me crazy, a tabletop role-playing game. So go to xdynamuschaos.com. At the bottom, where it tells you to put your email, subscribe so you get all posts from the news sent straight to your email, and browse it to your heart's content.
Cool. And, well, thank you. Thanks, Metal, for coming on. Thanks, Fitzchozo, for coming on. Thanks, everybody in the chat, for coming by. It's been great having you all here. Of course, I will be back tomorrow night for doing the last, well, technically it's not going to be the last, but it'll be the last live one of combining a He-Man character with a Mario character. And of course, it will be Bowser combined with Skeletor. And then, of course, we'll still have our She-Ra Daisy combination that we have to do, which will be coming out in the next few days for a short. But check out the coloring of Tila and Princess Peach that I did the combination last week, but didn't get to color it. So be around for that. And there's going to be a few other videos coming soon, shorts. So keep an eye out for them. And then we got Wednesday, which we'll be doing a character suggested by Metal. For
So if you don't want to miss anything, go over next to those words "Cross Comics" under the title, and make sure that bell is rung.
Yes. Yeah, make sure you like, share, and subscribe everything. Although you can only subscribe. Well, I would say you can only subscribe once, but you could unsubscribe and then subscribe again. But why do that?
Yeah, it gets rid of
Anyway,
your record, right? Because you could actually, you could go and you can look how long somebody's been subscribed on you in the studio, and if they unsubscribe and resubscribe, it's going to look like a fresh subscription. You can't be like, Cross, I've been subscribed to you for like 6 years now or something like that, you know?
yeah. Okay, well, thanks everybody for. I think Alpha's saying he's rung the bell, or he just rung it, or he's rung it a long time ago. We'll put a bell in the chat. Anyways, again, thanks everybody for coming by. We shall see you tomorrow night. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about Niagara Falls Comic Con. I should have probably done it tonight, but, you know. Hey. Anyways, later, everybody. God bless. Have a great day, night, whatever it might be for you. Bye for now.